The numbers, unfortunately, speak for themselves. 1.2 million teenagers will get pregnant this year. Half will choose to give birth. Half will not. In southwestern Indiana, an average of 400 teen girls give birth each year, and most of them will remain single. It's estimated that 3 out of 4 of these girls will go on welfare, costing local governments and taxpayers approximately $4.5 million each year. Teenage pregnancy often leaves the young parent and their families with very few choices. Such was the case for Teresa White when she found out she was pregnant.
It was terrifying. Didn't want to go home and tell anybody. So I didn't tell anybody for a while, maybe 6 months. And then, finally told my parents, and it didn't go over so good. I pretty much knew that living with my parents wasn't gonna be able to happen, so my dad helped me get an apartment, and I lived there by myself. My dad was helping me pay my bills, and then he got really sick, so I didn't go to work or anything, so I had to move back in with my mom. My dad, he ended up having non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and he was just really sick, so there wasn't a whole lot that he could help me with. If he wasn't sick, it probably would have ended up different. But my mom, she could help, but she was an alcoholic. So she pretty much was lost in her own problems at the time. The guy I was with, of course, you think that, thought that he was going to be there, thought that he was going to help, and that ended up not happening. So I pretty much had to rely on my parents, even though they weren't much to rely on. I didn't really have a choice.
Fortunately, Teresa found Life Choices Youth and Maternity Home. The mission of Life Choices Maternity and Youth Home is to prepare pregnant and other at-risk teens to become self-sufficient and valued community members. Life Choices gives troubled young girls like Teresa the chance to live a happy and successful life, whether beset by the challenges of teen pregnancy and parenthood or by dysfunctional family environments. Troubled teen girls can come to Life Choices and receive the support and guidance needed to turn their lives around and become valued and contributing members of our community.
I thought it would be like a group home where I would have to stay here 24 hours a day and couldn't do anything, so I didn't want to come, but I did. Afterwards, I didn't want to leave. Yeah.
And why is that? What was it about it?
It was just so great because if I needed anything, they would take me to go get it, getting a job. They helped me get a job. And before I got a job, I got my GED while I was living here. It was just a good place to get everything together before you had to move out. While I was living here, my dad passed away, and they were really there for me when that happened. All of them came to my dad's funeral and helped me get through that. And also, while I was living here, my appendix ruptured, and they helped me get through that. I lived here for a while, and then I got a different job. I ended up working as a daycare provider, and I ended up moving out. I had everything together, so I moved out. And then, on my way to work, I got in a car accident, and I crushed my pelvis and broke my hip. So I couldn't do anything on my own. I couldn't walk. I had 6-inch steel spikes sticking out of both my hips to make them heal back together, sticking out. And they let me move back in here. My sister took my son for 4 months while I learned how to walk again.
Life Choices Maternity and Youth Home provides a safe and secure shelter environment where professional staff and volunteers can assist troubled young girls with their immediate and long-term needs for self-sufficiency and success. Our commitment to serving young women and teens comes from our faith-based mission to serve those in need. We believe that young mothers and other teens experiencing life challenges need the special care, guidance, and loving support that can be provided by a faith-based residential shelter. We believe that all girls are potential community assets, and those girls with life challenges need the support and guidance of a caring and committed community to bring those assets to life. With a little help, these girls can be productive members of our community and loving parents for their young children. Like Lacey Barrett. Lacey became pregnant in high school and is expecting a new arrival at any time.
Life was good. I was in school still. My parents had bought me a car. I was working and having fun, and things went downhill. After I'd found out I lost my car, I started going to a different school, and I was back and forth. My mom wasn't too happy about it. Obviously, parents were a little upset. And so I was staying with my sister, back and forth between them two, so I wasn't really in a stable home. So I was a little nervous about, how life was going to be with a child. Would I be able to do it or not?
Our commitment comes from a deeply held belief that every life is a gift to be cherished and protected, and that a young mother's decision to bring her child to term should not result in poverty, welfare dependency, child abuse and neglect, and other poor outcomes for mother and child. These girls need our love, care, and support.
My mom mentioned to it after we began socializing again. She called me at work one day and said, have you ever heard about a place called Life Choices? Didn't sound like a bad place, but I've just, always been at home and more comfortable with family. So I was like, well, I can look at it. I can give it a try. On the inside, it was really stressful. It was really hard to deal with it. I wasn't getting much support in the beginning, so I just kind of put out the attitude like, I can do it, it's fine, everything will work out. But really on the inside, I was like, oh, what am I thinking? Can I really do this? Or do I need to go to Life Choice? I realized that I was being selfish, and I kept saying, do I think I can do it? Can I do it on my own? Do I need anyone's help? And I talked to Eric Freeman, area director, and he talked to me, and he made me realize that it's not about me anymore. It's about the child, and so this is what's best for the baby. And I realized that, and ever since I've been here, I've finished school. I've started classes, workshops with career choices to find a good job. I will start at Ivy Tech in the fall, and I really honestly I don't think anything would have fell into place like it had if I wouldn't have come here and had the opportunity. I had to grow up and mature quickly and realize that if I want a better life for my son, then I have to put us in a place where I can make that happen.
Life Choices provides these services with several objectives: to secure a funding base that provides quality programming for pregnant and homeless young girls, to help pregnant young girls become loving and caring mothers, to help pregnant and homeless young girls become emotionally secure, to help pregnant and homeless young girls become self-sufficient, to help nurture newborns in a loving environment. We ensure that while these girls reside at the shelter, they remain in school and continue their education. To date, 100% of the girls have done so. Life Choices also encourages and supports the young girls in finding employment while residing at the shelter. Over 90% of the girls have found and maintained employment while participating in the program. Girls typically reside in the shelter up to 6 months. There are currently 15 beds available for young girls and their babies and children. We have numerous young girls on a waiting list. The space is available, but the funding to accept new residents is not. Life Choices turns away approximately 50 pregnant young girls each year due to lack of funding to serve them. That's 50 young girls and their unborn babies with oftentimes no place to go. Life Choices Maternity and Youth Home can be a safe haven for these girls, a place where they can prepare for the road ahead of them, a place where they can mature and become responsible, productive, caring mothers.
I guess I didn't really know what a family was until I moved here, because it was like you actually had somebody leading you in the right direction, because I didn't really know what I was supposed to do at the time, so they just got me on track. And I'd say if that's what you need, then you should come here.
Sometimes I'm a little scared. Am I going to do it right? Am I going to be good enough mommy? What happens if I don't feed him at the right time? There's a lot of things that go through your head, but Eric he's really helped me in facing my fears now so that it won't be as hard once the baby gets here. He says, deal with the fact that you're not going to have any sleep. Realize that now. Deal with the fact that you don't eat when you want to eat. You don't take a shower and put your makeup on when you want to take a shower and put your makeup on. Your life now will be adjusted to this little baby who needs all of your attention. So it's kind of, I'm more comfortable with it now than I think I would have ever been had I not come to Life Choices.
Life Choices, I mean, you can either come here and do what needs to be done and have a great life, or you can come here and not do what you're supposed to do, and I don't know what would happen after that.
I'm really appreciative that I got a chance to come to Life Choices. This has given me so many opportunities and just so many chances that I would not have had before, and they really have showed me, you know, a line of things that need to be done before I can move out on my own, and that I need to be a grown-up person about this, and this is the decision I made.
I probably wouldn't have anything that I have today. I wouldn't be in school. I wouldn't have my GED, you know, if it wasn't for Life Choices. I don't even know where I would be at today.